Hello, my name's Gavin Martin. I'm an Executive Manager at Suncorp. I've actually been at Suncorp for about 3.5 years and I'm a qualified accountant. Now over the course of the next 10 minutes or so, I'd like you to focus on one question and one question only. Should you apply to the Suncorp Graduate Program? What I intend to do is give you a number of compelling reasons why I think the answer to that question simply has to be yes. Before we get into that though, what I'd like to start off by doing is just talking a bit about Suncorp. So who is Suncorp? Well, if you go onto Wikipedia, what it will tell you is Suncorp is the largest general insurance company in Australia and New Zealand. What that means is if you work for Suncorp, you're going to get the general insurance experience. Suncorp, of course, is also a bank and it's the 5th largest bank in Australia. That means that if you work for Suncorp, as well as the general insurance experience, you're going to get the experience of working for a big bank. Suncorp is also a life insurance company, which means if you come and work for Suncorp, you're going to get 3 different business experiences. One in general insurance, one in banking, and one in life insurance. And that for me is the first really compelling reason why I think an application to the Suncorp Graduate Program is something that you should be making. What else do we know about Suncorp? Suncorp has over 26 recognised brands. Now, generally speaking, people tend to know about Suncorp Insurance, they know about Suncorp Banking. People don't necessarily always know that another Suncorp brand is Amy, one of the biggest insurance brands in the country. Suncorp also has major brands like Apia, Shannon's, Just Car, Insure My Ride, GIO. So if you come and work in Suncorp, there's a large range of brands that you would have the experience of working for. Suncorp's a pretty large company. It's got 16,000 people. They're located in over 400 locations across Australia and New Zealand. So make no mistake about it. If you come to work for Suncorp, you'll be getting the big company experience. There's other companies you could go to work for if you want a smaller company experience. But if you want the experience of working for a big company across a range of industries, then Suncorp is certainly somewhere that you should consider. Now, what about finance in Suncorp? Ultimately, if you are applying to the Suncorp Finance Graduate Program, you probably want to become an accountant. So what is finance like in Suncorp? Well, within Suncorp, finance is structured into around 7 divisions at the group headquarters and about 5 divisions in the lines of business. So at a headquarters level, you've got some fairly traditional and classic accounting functions like management accounting, finance accounting, budgeting and forecasting, tax, capital management, group performance management, and finance strategy. So if you come to work at Suncorp, you'll get a broad range of what we would really call the headquarters functions within the finance area. Suncorp, of course, also has its lines of business, and within each line of business there is a finance function. So if you come and work at Suncorp, the odds are you'll be involved to some extent with work in either the banking finance function, the life insurance finance function, or general insurance finance functions. So I think there's a really compelling case here that you would get a broad range of experience across a broad range of finance functions. Another thing to say about finance within Suncorp is that we've recently had a new CFO start with us. And he comes on the back of a relatively recent new CEO across the whole company. And what it means is that we're talking about finance now as being a world-class function. And when a new CFO comes into a company and starts talking about finance in those terms as a world-class function, it's going to be an industry leader, that makes it a very exciting place to work. And I think as a graduate coming into a company, that's something you should aspire to be a part of. Now, a really important point that I want to make is that if in coming in your first graduate position, you wish to sort of sit in a back room somewhere, tapping away on a calculator and learn your accounting trade that way, Suncorp's not the place where you should come to work. What we're looking for is driven graduates who have passion, determination, and appetite for change, people who want to get involved in the business and really drive it forward. If that's the kind of thing you want to do, then I think you should make an application to the Suncorp Graduate Program. The final thing to say about finance in Suncorp is that it's ever changing. what I tell you about finance today will probably be slightly different to how it is tomorrow. I think that's a positive thing, because when you're coming out of university and going into your first job, I think you want to be going into an environment that is constantly changing, because that's exciting, that's going to give you a broad range of experience. Okay, at the outset, I said I would give you some compelling reasons why I think you should apply to the Suncorp Graduate Program. The first of those is probably the perks of working for a company like Suncorp. So we are a big insurance company, and that means if you work for Suncorp, you're going to get discounts on your home insurance, on your motor insurance, on your travel insurance, all of which is clearly going to be a good thing. But we're also a bank, so that means as well as all the perks of working for an insurance company, you're also going to get the perks of working for a bank. That means you're going to get free banking, and if you're in the market for purchasing a house, you're going to get a discounted home loan or mortgage. Compelling perks for working for a company like Suncorp. Along with those, Suncorp also offers study assistance. So if you're going to be looking to qualify as an accountant, either a CA or a CPA, we will financially support you in doing that. Other perks of working for Suncorp include a fully paid volunteer day. Suncorp will literally pay for you to go and work for a day for a charity of your choice. So there's clearly a lot of perks around working for a company like Suncorp. The second compelling reason why I think you should consider Suncorp is its values. Now, if you go into any major company anywhere in the world today, they will have a poster on the wall that talks about their values. And Suncorp has a similar poster. It will talk about things like courage, honesty, respect, fairness, caring. Those are just words, and I think what you need to consider when you're going into a company is, do you really believe that that company holds those values true? And do the people that work for that company really believe in them and live those values on a day-to-day basis? It's my experience in the 3.5 years that I've been in Suncorp that those values are demonstrated on a daily basis here, and consequently I think they add to the compelling case for coming to work to Suncorp. The third and final reason why I think you should come and work for Suncorp is the graduate program itself. So we've spent a lot of time in recent years really making that program work better for the graduates that we have here. And it now consists of a 2-year program where you will work in 4 different areas for 6 months at a time. So the first of those areas is what we call core finance. And that means that you will work in an area like accounts payable or fixed assets or payroll. And those are the basic things that you simply have to get a grip on if you're going to be an accountant. We then have an area which we call finance fundamentals. And in working in that area, you will get experience of management accounting, financial accounting, budgeting and forecasting, all of which are absolutely key on your journey to becoming a well-rounded finance professional. The third area that you'll be rotated into is what we call specialist finance. So this is where you'll get an experience of something like tax or capital management or financial strategy, all of which are a bit more specialist but will give you a good grounding to the broad range of experiences that you really need to acquire to set you on the path as a finance professional. And then the fourth area that you would definitely spend some time in is one of our businesses. So be it general insurance or life insurance or banking, you'll go into one of those teams and understand what it means to be involved in finance directly in the business. So in addition to that rotation program, Suncorp will obviously offer a competitive salary package. Suncorp's salary for this coming intake will be $55,000. My personal opinion on this is, whilst it's tempting to be concerned about whether you're earning $50,000, $55,000 or $60,000 as an incoming graduate, you really need to ask yourself the question, what is the platform that's going to get me to $100,000 or $150,000? And what's the experience that's going to set me on the path towards that objective? I think my concluding statement would be that Suncorp is in a position to offer you a range of experiences that give you that platform that's going to set you on that path to greater things in the future. So consequently, encourage you to apply to the Suncorp program. If you have any further questions on that, do please contact us through Facebook.